Shine on, you crazy diamond. Dun dun dun. Hey everyone, it's Brent the Middleman, your middle-aged middle manager in Middle America, here today with another video, this time about the trippy Apple TV series Shining Girls. This video will be covering what we've seen so far in the series, focusing mainly on episode 6 and beyond, so here is your spoiler alert. Now get into your magic house, think hard about the next part of this video, and boom, you're there. Shining Girls is a series adapted from a novel by Lauren Bukes called The Shining Girls. In the series, we are introduced to Kirby, a woman who seems to be losing her mind. She has to keep track of things in a notebook because things keep changing around her. And not just little things like which coffee mug she's using, but big things like where she lives and who she's married to. We also find out that Kirby isn't her real name, she changed it after surviving a brutal attack that left her with a cross-shaped scar on her stomach. While all of this is going on with Kirby, we also see a creepy guy named Harper, who doesn't seem to age, jumping around in time and killing women, leaving some kind of item in their stomachs. The series slowly starts to give us clues as to what is really going on as we follow Kirby and her reporter colleague Dan as they start to find proof that some unsolved murders and Kirby's attack have a lot in common. In episode 5, Kirby finally gets a chance to confront Harper, the man who attacked her and who has been killing women all throughout the 1900s, and during their fight, Kirby starts to change things around her, basically fast-forwarding time. It's unclear if the year is actually changing or if it's just the stuff around her, and maybe we'll get an answer soon, or I'm totally missing something and you can let me know in the comments. We do learn that Harper has to get back to his house after a certain amount of time, or he'll lose his mind like his friend Leo. That pretty much brings us up to episode 6, which gave us Harper's backstory. I was really excited to see that this was going to be a flashback episode as soon as I saw Harper in World War I. They are in a battle where poison gas is being used, and Harper does exactly what I would do and starts running the other way. But he runs right into another soldier, and we find out that Leo helped Harper get his mask on and man up to fight. While this worked out well for Harper, it didn't work out so well for the soldier whose gas mask he later stole to save his own life after his own mask was damaged by a bomb. This scene shows us that Harper is a survivor and willing to do anything to save his own life, and that war is hell. Back from the war, Harper visits his stripper girlfriend Clara. Burlesque stripper girlfriend. We learn that Harper is a total simp for Clara. I mean, she never even wrote him back while he was risking his life, yet he still brought her a dead guy's handkerchief. Now that's romance. We find out that Clara is who taught Harper how to spy on people and then rob them, which is how he tracked and murdered the women throughout time. They go on to spy on an old lady Harper remembers from school or something, and in her apartment they find a digital watch, which wouldn't have been invented for another 60 years. The watch started beeping at just the right moment to get Harper's attention, almost as if it wanted him to find it. More on that in a bit. Harper is fascinated by it and waits around to find out where the old lady got it. She tells him that he's a small man and would never be able to understand. He pins her against the wall with an umbrella that looks a lot like the umbrella Jin Suk uses. We don't actually see Harper kill the old lady, but he shows up to Clara with the watch and the picture of the lady's husband, so I'm guessing he took her out. They do a decent job of showing us Harper's attitude towards richer people, as he feels like they don't deserve it and he does. So basically he was the first millennial. Harper then runs into Leo from the war, and we see that Leo is a hustler and a con man. They then dress up in their uniforms to go rob the address that was on the back of the old lady's husband's picture. It's a pretty normal looking house for the time, and it is filled with a ton of strange items that they do not recognize because they haven't been invented yet. In the house, Harper can hear the house humming or buzzing, like there's a large machine in the basement. Maybe it's on some sort of vortex or surrounded by an electromagnetic field that gives it its ability to send people through time. We also see curtains on the windows, and the light from outside seems to flicker through the holes. It gives the impression that the house is hurtling through space and time, and only settles in on a spot when the house owner steps outside. Leo finds a suitcase filled with money, but money from the future. Upstairs, Harper finds an almanac from 1973. Harper hears a noise from the closet and realizes the owner of the house is home after all. The man seems to have no idea what year he is in as he holds a gun on Harper. Harper tells the man what day and year it is, and the man says, "I've never been to this day." Later, Harper tells Clara that there is a certain day and year he cannot travel further than. We know that the man Harper finds ends up getting hit by a car and probably dying, which is why he can never visit this day until his death. This makes me think that the time Harper and Clara travel to in the future is the day before Harper dies. The house won't let you travel to or past the point of your death, which means the house knows when the person is going to die. Whoa. Harper and Leo end up taking over the house, but the house will only let Harper travel in time. Harper, or whoever is with him, just has to think of a point in time they want to go to and then leave the house and they will be there. But for some reason, only Harper can remember what happened. The person traveling with him cannot remember. So Harper uses this to set up his own Groundhog Day scenario in order to seduce Clara. It totally works, but he ends up getting frustrated that she can't remember, and after she becomes the second woman in the episode to call him small, he kills her right on the bed. This is why earlier in the season we see him lying on the bed and looking at the green glow where she died. While they are out at a club in the 80s, for what we learn later could be the 100th time or more, Harper meets Kirby. A guy in the club is videotaping them dance, and this is the shot from the beginning of the episode. Later, Harper has the camera back at the house, saying he bought it off the guy, but yeah, he probably killed him. They then film the scene we saw Kirby and Dan watch after finding the videotape. While Kirby is bartending, she tells Clara that an ex-boyfriend gave her earrings on the first date, but later when Harper goes back alone and bets her that he can guess how she got them, she lies and said she got them at a thrift store and takes his money. Well, she was either lying or, in this timeline, it actually happened differently. Harper, though, can tell that there's something different about her, just like how he knew there was something strange about the watch and then the house. It's the start of him feeling drawn to certain items and people. This would explain why he leaves items in his victims and gives us a small clue on how he chooses his victims. They are all special in some way, and he can sense it. My theory is that the house attracts people it needs to carry out its agenda and makes them more attuned to the people it wants them to kill or items it wants them to get. But what does the house want? Or was it designed for a purpose? The house seems to choose men who want to be more who it can use. So this tells me exactly what the house is. My ex-wife. And what is so special about the girls it has Harper killing? We know that Harper can change things around her or time travel in some weird way, so maybe these other girls had some unknown talent like that and the house needs them gone. The house is using an unspecial man to snuff out special women. The other thing that gets confirmed is that the timeline is not fixed. It can be changed. At the end of episode 5, we learn that Jin Suk is still alive, even though we saw Harper kill her in another timeline. When Clara tries to get off the bed, Harper tells her, "Get back over here, you always do." Clara realizes that Harper has just been using the house to keep sleeping with her over and over again, which honestly is not the worst plan in the world. But it does show that the timeline is constantly in flux. Maybe the house is trying to keep the timeline in check, like some kind of 3-bedroom, 3-bath He Who Remains. At the end of the episode, we see Harper putting white crosses on the dead soldiers on the battlefield, showing us why he carves crosses into the chests and stomachs of his victims. It's his messed up way of showing tribute or something like that. Leo then has him leave the gas mask of the guy he killed. The first time he left an item with a victim with a cross on their stomach. Now he leaves items and crosses with all his victims across time. Leo also lets Harper know he saw him let that guy die. This could be why Harper has no problem letting Leo waste away in that facility, because he's the only person alive who knows what he really is, a selfish small man. I'm really enjoying Shining Girls, and I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think of it so far. I think episode 7 will be a battle between Kirby and Harper, as Harper tries to steal her power to change things just like he stole the house. Harper wants so badly to be special that it makes him hate people that are actually special. This definitely rings true, especially in this day and age of everyone wanting to show off and be famous on the internet. Never mind. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it really helps out this middle-aged middle manager. I'll be back soon with more videos on Shining Girls, And if you want to see what other shows I'm watching, please check out some more videos and let me know all of your theories in the comments. Once again, I'm Brent the Middleman, and I'll see you next time.